lady. Hello. Sorry, I left the mic open. You might have heard me singing in the background. Hi, I'm BonBonB. You're very, very welcome. I know I said I wasn't going to be doing a live stream today, because I've got Cities Skylines 2 o'clock to edit, but I've had a heck of a day. I need to chill out for maybe an hour before I start doing any brain work. So, a little bit of map making. Now, I did get a little bit of work done earlier on today. A little bit, not much. We in terms of the rivers, for those of you that might have skipped a day or two, the river systems are mostly done. There are a couple of very obvious places where they aren't. This one here is done down to that point, leaving just this stretch to do, which shouldn't be too difficult at all. Down here, down this side of the map via this river, this is now completely done, so that is cool. From here, we are done all of this, although it doesn't look too great from up here. This is done as a ditch. We'll probably do a little bit of ditch style detailing along there. So that is all done. Also down this way, I think actually no, with this is still to be done. This bit's still to be done. This river still to be done. All of this side is done apart from coming down from the waterfalls. So all of that is done as well. The waterfall detailing, I did get a little bit done this morning. I'm quite happy with how it's coming along. So this is the one that I said was done. But what I've actually done is I've dropped the water spawn levels. So it's not quite as bulbous and as heavy as it looked previously. So start the simulation, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, eh? So possibly a little bit of work to be done. Let's do it now. At the lower area of this, I just want to bring brush strength doesn't want to be anywhere near that high, and if I can just try and bring the water in to a slightly thicker stream through the middle there, that will look better. That does. I'm going to do something similar over this side as well. As the water is there, it's just struggling to show. Let's have a little look. There we go. So a little tap of the there also. Right, so that waterfall, I know it's bulging by design. Actually, I want that. I want it to look like it's spewing out the side of the mountain. Done a little bit of terrain work on the mountain as well. It was a little bit meh, so we've got some erosion going on here. This one has been redetailed. So again, I've dropped the amount of water pouring out the side of this, so it looks a lot better. And we've got some mosses in there as well. But I've inlaid the waterfall a bit, so you can't quite see it here, but with the lines of terrain on, you can see how this is being pushed in now. So it's just a little bit deeper, means that while it is bulging out, it's not bulging out quite as obviously as it was previously. Just like hides the accent on it, right? This one, again, I've reduced the amount of water coming out of this one. Again, it's also lines of terrain there. It's just edged in a little bit. Possibly needs to be done a little bit more here. Just give it a little bit more depth in that area there too. But yeah, that's close to being what I'm looking for here. There we go, that's better. Lovely. This one, I just wanted it to be a bit different, just a little bit different. Otherwise, they're all very samey. It's a similar sort of style, but it's a bit wider and a bit lower. Obviously, it can't be quite as high because the mountain doesn't go quite as high here. I've taken a little bit of bulk out the back of the mountain as well. I might do a little bit more mountain work around the back here, just because it looks a bit okay around this one. Unfortunately, your data isn't coming in steady enough. So hi and bye. Have a good stream. Oh, bless you, bless you. Yeah, it's your end, not my end, Dan. If you're still there, stream is coming through fine at this end. So yeah, sorry about that, Dan. But you can always catch up later or whatever. You know, or tomorrow. This isn't going to be a long one today anyway. It's just going to be a little bit of terrain doodling, right? So waterfalls are done over here. We need to work on the rivers from here, here, and down this way here. And then most of the river work is done, apart from foliage work. We're going to do some foliage work at some point. I think, actually, looking at this, I don't mind this as a spawn. I don't mind that as a spawn. Yes, it's ridiculous. It's a fantasy map, all right? It's a fantasy map, so it's allowed to be a little bit ridiculous. How's that? Got a little bit more water coming over the edge there. A little bit. Little bit. There we go, that's better. Now we've got a stream going down that. We'll do similar over this way as well. We'll take a little bit out of here, so you can get a little bit of depth of water going off of that, which gives you the lovely stream. Look at that. I'm getting good at these waterfalls. Says he, about to make a complete arse up of this one. But yes, we're the 81 player collaboration is moving along nicely. I don't remember the exact number we're up to. We're not at 81 yet, but we are definitely getting closer to it. We're in the 50s. We're in the 50s, mid to high 50s. In terms of which tiles are left, it is mostly just the outer rim, and not even all of the outer rim. I think there's one tile. Actually, let me have a quick glance. I can't share, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would very happily do that. So, effectively, basically, I've got one on the inner rim. So, one on the 49 tile. And then regarding the outer rim, if you shuffled the pieces, you would well, I think it's a 9 on the outer rim that have gone, and that's it. So basically, yeah, if you just juggle the so you could get one entire row. That's what I'm trying to say when I say juggle. I mean, you know, you can get one entire row of tiles that are taken, and so we've got, you know, about 3/4 of the outside to fill, and then that is 81 players. Whether or not, again, I'm expecting at least some of those not to actually end up making anything, or to have problems because the map won't load and they give up or whatever. The map should load. We've got a working map now that I've fixed the problems. Oh man, yeah. Let's not talk about problems, eh? I can fix problems, like here. Look, see this river? That's not good, like that. Let me go. I might have to. This is too deep. I'm going to have to bring the base of the river. I'm going to pause the simulation. Bring the base of the river up to about this height. We can make this work. It's just too deep there. It's probably too wide as well, to be honest with you. But given that we're now in the final throes of the river work, which on a fantasy maps, it's all about having good rivers, ridiculous rivers sometimes even, and then striking mountains. So you don't need striking mountains for a fantasy map, but it helps. You know, you can have some interesting volcanoes, all those sort of things, all the bits and pieces, all the things that where you go, well, that nobody would live there. That's what makes it. I guess that's what makes a fantasy map a fantasy map. Nobody would live there. Why would you live there when you can live 20 miles down the road on a lovely floodplain and have like beautiful farming? And well, no, people want to live in stupid places, which is why we find people living in, I don't know, where's a stupid place? Let's insult somebody. Where would be a stupid place? Iceland. That's full of volcanoes. It's a beautiful country, mind you, isn't it? Beautiful peoples as well in Iceland. Really lovely. So yeah, Iceland. Who would live in Iceland? Or Japan. I mean, it's just, you're waiting for death in Japan, aren't you? With all the volcanoes and the typhoons and tidal waves, everybody living on top of each other. So if there's a catastrophe, basically millions will die. Let's be positive. Let's be optimistic and wish absolute disasters on the beautiful Japanese people, shall we? Goodness me. No, but yeah, who'd live in Japan? Grief. Hi Diego. Are you planning to build? I'm right now. No. By the time I finish this this map, it will be like only 2 or 3 weeks, I imagine, from the release of Cities Skylines II. This was basically something for me to do, as my city has been broken by mods. So I'm not going to be doing any city build with the time that I've got left. And let's face it, it's the map channel. And I've always vowed to myself I would do a fantasy map and hopefully do a good one. This map has been not designed or anything, but it's in the back of my head. The rough feel and the vibe that you're getting from the map here has been in my head now for years. BonBon Island was supposed to be sort of a take on this. I was going to do a lot of terrain work to make plateaus on BonBon Island. I didn't in the end because I was so taken by the beauty of the island that I just didn't want to. I did not want to mess with the island. So I'm now basically I decided to go with a doodled map. Doodled maps are a bad idea, by the way. You should not follow my example, because doodled maps, unless you really know what you're doing, are gonna come out badly. It's kind of like if you saw, I don't know, a Rembrandt or a Hockney or one of the paintings by one of the old masters, and you look at it and you go, "What? How hard can that be?" A Da Vinci. How hard can that be? And then you try and replicate it just by picking up a pen and a felt tip pen and going to town. Bit like that woman who tried to restore the image of Christ, the fresco of Christ, and she completely butchered it, causing like millions and millions and millions pounds of damage on it. Yeah, kind of like that. So unless you know what you're doing, and I'm not saying I know what I'm doing, but I have been around the map editor long enough to at least pretend I know what I'm doing, to bodge it. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend to anybody doing a map build with doodling. But I knew roughly what I wanted to try and achieve, and I know roughly how I want to try and achieve it. And I have the experience, and I've seen over 2,000 maps firsthand. So if I can't bodge this, then I don't know anybody who can bodge this. Hi, Snoozeby. Oh, Snoozeby. I haven't replied to your comment yet, have I? On the viewfinder. Oh, do you know what? I think my head is starting to go. Right. Let me tell you, this is true story. Okay. When I recorded that, yes, I had to go and evacuate. I can't remember if I had to go and blow my nose or grab a glass of water or go to the toilet or something. I can't remember the reason why I left. It happens occasionally, and when you do, basically you just get up, walk away, come back, and when you edit it, you just edit out the period that you're away, and hopefully nobody will notice, and usually nobody does. It happened more often than you'd like to guess with WhatsApp, where I found this trick. If you watch some of the reviews with WhatsApp and you see the camera go through a tree, quite often that is the transition. So basically I fly into the tree, I then get up and go and do whatever I need to do, and then I go back and I fly through the tree again, because you don't really notice a transition because you're going through the tree. So that's a technique that I used a few times. But anyway, with this, I needed to go. I think I needed to blow my nose. It was one of those, and I remember that I had to do it. I remember I had to go back and edit it, and I forgot. I absolutely forgot to go back and edit it. So you're going to go, well, that's the end of the story. It's really not, right? Because when I went to upload the video, I noticed the lull in the audio track, but only after I started uploading the video. So I thought, oh, bugger. I need to go and re-render it, edit and re-render. So I edited it, stopped the upload, and deleted the upload, so the video didn't get uploaded. Re-rendered it, which took, I don't know, 10-15 minutes or however long, I don't know. Redid that. Hang on, is that now? That might work. Let's give this, we're going to get a bit of flooding because the water is underneath the ground here. So we'll start the sim, move this up, the water will go everywhere, and then it'll just move downstream, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. I'm going to carry on waffling for a moment. So anyway, I knew there was a problem. I knew right from the off there was going to be a problem. So I edited it. I took out that space of however many, a few minutes it was, a couple of minutes or whatever, edited it out, pieced it together, watched it, could barely notice the link, rendered it, saved it and rendered it, and then went back into the folder and re-uploaded it. What I have done, though, this is the embarrassing bit, I've done a typo in the name of the file. So when I went to re-up it, I found Viewfinder 4 and uploaded that one. I thought I was rendering over the former video. What I did was I re-upped the exact same video, and I have an edited version of Viewfinder spelt VEIW Finder 04. Viewfinder. So the really embarrassing thing is, I spotted this, I caught it, I went to the effort of stopping an upload, re-editing, re-rendering, and re-uploading it in the full confidence that everything was going to be fine. And it was a complete shitstorm. I'm sorry for my language, but it was a complete shitstorm. And it was only with your comment that, and so I read the comment and I didn't even, but yeah, there's no point in even looking at it because I know what happened. I know. I didn't know what the cause was until I got upstairs and had a look at my PC and found two files with virtually identical names, but one with a typo, which is edited correctly. I know, it's hilarious. So anyway, that is, leave it. Yes, I'm going to leave it. There's no point. The thing is, it doesn't exactly get the views, Viewfinder. I'm thinking from the next episode onwards, I'll move it over to BonBonB Too because it is going to negatively affect my channel now. But yeah, I've got another 2 episodes in the can that haven't been edited yet, so I'll look out for that. And then, how am I going to do this? Hang on. I'm just going to have to raise the riverbeds again. Stop the simulation and raise the riverbeds. Right, yes. So I'm going to have to, because I want to keep playing it. I haven't got a huge distance. Some of the puzzles are bloody hard, you know. Some of them, as you go on, the game evolves into something a little bit different puzzle wise, but it is something very special, very, very special, and so different from basically anything I've ever played before. And it's rare to find a game that is completely different and that is still fun. Let me go with a smaller brush. Brush strength can go up a little bit. I'll do a little bit of softening here as well in a minute. But yeah, we'll bring these levels up. We'll do a little bit of larger brush. But yes, it was like, as soon as I saw your comment, I'm going, you are joking. I fixed that. Gone to the effort of fixing it. Cursed myself. Just made note that I'd see what it was that had gone wrong. But yeah, typo in the file name, and then in fact I didn't even, because the file that I uploaded to YouTube was the folder was still there, and the file was just, so I didn't even search for it. I didn't even look for the file name. I just uploaded the file, the exact same file. Oh god, so hilarious. Oh no, I am losing it. I absolutely know I'm losing it. Made a few mistakes in the allocation of the tiles for the 81 collaboration. It's picked up by Danage and a couple of the others. So yeah, it's this is what actually one of the main reasons why I've left the 81 player collaboration as long as I have. Because I knew that if I was doing like the daily Watts Map show, I just wouldn't be able to cope with it all, and so that's why it was funny. Yeah. Yeah, and I like that you laugh about the battery getting knocked over. It's like, yep, that wouldn't be the first time I've done that either. Right, are we? I'm going to bring this in a bit more. That still feels like it needs a little bit more love. Right, start simulation off again. Again, we'll go straight up in speed so we get a bit of flooding, but it will sort itself out very quickly. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Hopefully this will contain. The one on the left looks like perma flooding to me at first glance. It's not a big problem. Possibly a bit of perma flooding here. So yeah, we've got a little bit of perma flooding, but nothing that a little bit of extending the cliff faces out won't fix. Bring that back down. Is there anything else in the chat there? Sorry, I missed your comments there, Diego. So yeah, over 4,000 meters over sea level would seem to be a dumb place. Oh yes, La Paz. Yeah, I mean, it is a dumb place, but the thing is, people have been living there for centuries, possibly longer than that. I don't know. So the longer you live in an area, the more acclimatized you become to it. So yeah, if I was to come to your country and like come and spend a couple of nights at yours, especially with my asthma, I doubt if I'd be able to breathe at all. Doubt if I get any oxygen. And if I was to go and see Snoosby, I would probably melt because I am very intolerant of the hot weather. And snoozing the bee. Come on, English. English is not hard. Snooze bee. Yeah, will probably just laugh at me melting in the corner, refusing to leave the air conditioning units, and that's in the winter. Do you know what? Let's just grab this here. Got people complaining about the weather in my hometown today, and it was, I think it was about 23 Celsius, just 23 Celsius. So you do realise we've got a storm coming. There's rain heading this way tonight, and a lot of it. Big old storm, Storm Betty, apparently, because we've started naming our storms. And I think it's really cute when you see our storms compared to like the hurricanes that get named in America, and you go, oh, really? Does a little bit of wind and rain deserve a storm? Deserve a name? Sorry, I don't know. Right. Anyway, we get rid of that so I can see. Oh, brush strength was too high. There we go. Brush strength's too high. Right. Hopefully that'll be a bit better. Then over here, there may still be more work to be done with the, as I keep saying, I want to rework a few of these edges. I think we're not too far. Where, sorry? Potosi is even higher. It's the greatest silver mine in history. Ooh, Flying Man's here as well. All of the South Americans are here today. In fact, all of the southern hemispheres. Wow. Hang on. Is Bolivia southern hemisphere? Is it northern hemisphere? I think you're north of the equator, aren't you? In Bolivia. Again, without looking at a map, it's going to be close, I think. Let me know there, Diego. Northern or southern hemisphere? I'm honestly not sure without looking at a map for Bolivia. Yeah, good thought. Because my brain says, oh, the equator runs right the way through Central America, through the Caribbean. It doesn't, does it? It goes through the top part of South America. With me here, we have 5 World Cups altogether. Oh, that's right. Rub it in. La Paz is weird with the weather. It is better in the winter. Sun is very intense. It gets kind of hot. It's during the summer when the weather gets out. Oh, really? There you go. Bit of curiosity. Oh, there you go. Tell Colossal Order. Tell them. You are in the southern hemisphere, right? Gotcha. I wasn't sure. I'm not quite sure where the equator passes through. Way below it is Ecuador. Ecuador, the equator. Just dawned on me. I mean, Equatorial Guinea, I get that. Ecuador, is it called Ecuador because there's the equator running through it? If there is, then maybe I am completely losing my marbles. Where am I going here? What have I done? I've done this lake. I've been working this river, which isn't quite done. You can tell by the way it doesn't quite reach. But I think this is fixable. Central America is Northern Hemisphere. There we go. There you go. I can forgive the typo as well, as Snoozeby will laugh. Here's the reason why we don't have enough water. See, we've got the water spawn point there, right? And see how it's not reaching here? It's because this water spawn point is too deep. It's actually, now that I've raised the surface of the water here, it is actually below. I've just stopped the simulation. Brush size up a little bit. Brush strength there. We'll drop. If I can find that. Where are you? There you go. Right, get rid of that. We will replace that, and then we'll give ourselves a nice new spawn about here. Might be a little bit too high. I think we can go with that. Now if we start simulation off again, that will definitely provide enough water now. We've got a little bit of flooding down here. Let me just see if we can preempt some of this before it becomes a problem. We got that one. And that one. Hopefully that will fix that. Come on, water, you can find your way down here. I've got some water. Speaking of water, I haven't got coffee today. I've got a bottle of icy cold water straight out the tap, full of lime scale. Lovely. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, so Ecuador, Quito is Quito. All right, thanks for that. There you go. Should have known that. It's one of those things I feel that I should know, but yeah. In fact, of all the continents, for me, I would say until recently, the one that was most mysterious to me was South America. We get just not much news about South America in where we are here. I'm going to push this game speed up. This is gonna. I want to help this along a little bit. Is this actually going to? It looks like it's filling. We'll just give it a. We'll give it a couple of moments. Yeah, as we see news on Asia, Africa, obviously Europe, Australasia. Even though it's not Australasia, but in my head it's still Australasia. Oceania, I guess. And then the news from South America is normally either Colombian gun runners or Brazil have won the World Cup again, basically. I think that's working. So yeah, so in terms of South America, you don't hear an awful lot. I think if you asked most average Brits, tell me something about Peru, I think the first thing they would say is Paddington Bear, and I think after that they would struggle to say anything. So yeah, it's one of these that it's like to the average Brit, and I am, I guess, an average Brit. What am I doing here? Softening. To the average Brit, South America is a little bit of a mystery, a little bit mysterious to most of us. So yeah, it's just really good to actually, I mean, to a degree, you'd say the same with things like Indonesia and the islands over that way. So Philippines, Indonesia, Guinea, and so forth. I think most people would also struggle to have a grasp. They could point to Japan, but yeah, that, I think, in terms of this river, I think we might be done with this one as well. It's coming together. Right, so now if that river is done, we've got this one, because this is, you can see, slightly gouged going on here. That might be a question of just lowering the plateau, actually. I think the plateau is just too high. Don't know if I want to raise the... If I raise the water level, this is going to become a problem over here. So I'm going to lower the entire plateau down a bit. Let's have a little look. they have a water experiment. Who is? Ecuador is a country, yep, where the name comes from. Right, gotcha. Quito is a plaza with a line that you can walk from. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I reckon most countries that straddle the equator will do that. Like we have in London, we have the Greenwich Meridian, the international date line. It's not the one where it switches between day and night. It's the one that is 0, and everything is counted up or counted down from Greenwich in London. So yeah, you have one where you can stand in the eastern and in the western hemisphere at the same time, but not the northern and southern, because we're a little bit too far north for that. Just a little bit. Thankfully, I don't think I could cope. Right. Anyway, or as said before, actually, I would cope because you become evolved. You become accustomed, don't you? Right. We're going to choose that height, and we will see if we can get this down to that kind of level. So yeah, good old southern hemisphere. Everything's upside down. You got, oh my goodness, these flat earthers, right? The flat earthers, and you put it to them. Why do when the water goes down the drain? How come in the southern hemisphere it goes counterclockwise or whichever way, isn't it? You know, I just like to see them try and explain that one, right? I'm all for people having conspiracy theories when they ain't stupid, right? And flat earthers, it's just stupid. I even did that video disproving the flat earth using Cities Skylines. If you haven't seen that one, it's different, okay? It's different. just want to show that it's just the most ridiculous thing. I stopped commenting on it because I ended up with a lot of hate, as you can imagine, from certain members of the flat earth community who were like, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just showing you why it looks like the flat earth theory doesn't work using a simple game mechanic in City Skylines, right? There you go. The earth is flat. That's why on a good day I can see the Empire State Building from Brazil. Exactly. There's your evidence. Oh goodness me! In fact, my City Skylines disproving thing was I made a fake sun. I think I made it out of container props, Ivana's container props. I made a fake sun, and I put it the equivalent above the land, and then tried to show that no matter where you are in the world, when it sets to supposedly over the horizon or goes, I don't know, when it's just basically you can see the sun at night time. And now I know you can in the far north when it's summer, you can see the sun for like 22 hours a day. Or if you stood at the North Pole, all the time. Yeah, you can. In the summer, and in the winter you don't see it at all, or for maybe 2 hours of the day, and that's it. They just they're crazy. They're just absolutely crazy. Everything is fake. The moon landing was faked. My response to that is just simple. I mean, if it's ever proven the moon landings were faked, then I will stand back and say absolutely well done. You were right, I was wrong, right? But if the moon landings were faked, Russia would have basically said, nope, that's faked. They would have at some point put up an argument against it. There's no way during the height of the Cold War and the space race, spending billions and billions and billions of I guess was it ruples? Is it What are the Russians? Hang on, that's embarrassing. Russians currency. I was going to say rupees, but rupees is India, isn't it? Rubles, isn't it? Anyway, spending lots of Russian currency on trying to get a man onto that. They won everything else, didn't they? They got the first man in space. They got the first woman in space. They got the first satellite. They got the first animal in space. They won everything. They even made the first landing, first unmanned landing. But America, first man on the moon. Ah, we're the first. Oh, yeah, great. It's a great achievement, great accomplishment. I'm not going to knock it, but the Russians would have argued it. If it was fake, the Russians would have tried to disprove it. And while they didn't exactly applaud it, they never denied it being actually a thing that happened. So yeah, moon landings. But, you know, I can see some supposedly compelling evidence. Supposedly. Yeah. The shadows, the reflections, yeah, the fluttering of the flag, all that sort of crud. Yeah, right, whatever. Yeah, are you absolutely sure about that? You are. Okay, right. Well, I've got the only argument that I've got is the one that you've probably heard already. So I'm not going to convince you. Carry on. You believe what you want. And this is how it is with me. It's like, well, I could argue against it, but I'm not qualified enough to be able to say, yeah, have I been in space? No. And if I have been in space, they basically just say I'm part of the conspiracy, right? It's like, oh God, people are just the worst, aren't they? Speaking of which, let's check the chat. Oh, there they are, all those people. Rubles, yes, thank you. Is the moon flat? Well, there you go, you see. The moon, we only ever see one side of it. Except for... Thanks, motorbike. Except for... We see just over one side of it. We don't... Because it oscillates, doesn't it? It actually oscillates a little bit. So, it's not that we see exactly the same thing. It's not like a two-dimensional thing in the sky. It is three-dimensional. Because we can see... Yeah, and that's forgetting about the shadow. Right, we're forgetting about the shadow and like the crescent moon and all that lot, because they've got arguments against that. It's like, no, that's because of this. Okay, good, right, but it oscillates. Mind you, I don't think they argue that the moon is round, the flat earthers, do they? I don't think they say it's a disc. They're just saying that the earth is a disc, which is, like I say, absolutely hilarious. Right, how's this? This is not bad. This is not bad. I'll say I'm not going to be doing this for long tonight. I just needed to get a break, and I've got a lot of editing. Oh, if you've not been yet, if you have not been yet to This Old Gamer's channel and looked at his new video, I'm not saying it because he's a mate. I could easily say it because he's a mate. I'll be honest with you. It's, for me, I think it's one of the best City Skylines videos I have ever seen by anybody. There is a bit that I skipped. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to him. Not going to lie to you. But I only skipped it because I figured I knew the information already. It's like if you're watching a tutorial, do you want to see something that you know already, or you're just going to skip to a more interesting bit later on, and that's why I skipped it. It's all about system recommendations for Cities Skylines II, and it's just so entertainingly put together. This old gamer, John, is a legend in my eyes. He's got his wife involved, not just once or twice, but a few times. And it's actually funny as well. So it's not just an entertaining tutorial. It's genuinely beautifully put together. Check out This Old Gamer, and there'll be a snippet of the tutorial in tomorrow's City Skylines 2 o'clock, because we're going to talk briefly about it. because it's about City Skylines 2. So he's spent a lot of time researching and getting expertise on it. So why would I not pick his brain on that, you know? I'm just going to use a softener along the edges here. Probably going to rework some of this anyway. Brush size up a little bit. Oh, maybe not that much. Brilliant. I'm so proud of you. You're my hero. Please ride through my living room again. What an idiot. Right. Ooh. I think we're getting there. I think we are getting there. This is down here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. One or two edges going on here. I will take a look at that from ages there. I'll have a look at that in a moment, because whatever it is you've said, I think it might actually be valid, because I think you were thinking what I was thinking for a moment there. And there we go. Right. So let's have a look. What have you got there? It's gaming ages. I think the plateau would look good, slightly sloped at one end. Yeah, I think it might be right here. This end here, if I can extend this down this way just a little bit, only in as much as I've done something similar over here, and again in the balance, gaming balance, design balance, it will just mirror this quite nicely, because I've mirrored. If we come over here, we've got these three mountains here: mountain, plateau, or mesa. And if we come over this side, mirroring it over here, three there. So I think you've got a really, really good point with that. So once I've just edged off, finished doing the job that I was doing, I'm going to get distracted otherwise, right? And just clean up some of these edges along here. And again, we'll probably come back and do some erosion and just make it, these edges a little bit more interesting than they are already. Our brush strength is already high. There we are. And there it is. Not bad. Might do something with that, so I'm just going to leave that poking up a little bit for the moment. How's that? Not perfect. Definitely not perfect, but close. Close to perfect, right? How's that? Not bad. Now, over here, because Gaming Ages has a point, and I don't disagree with them at all. Whether or not I can actually make it work will be a different thing altogether, but we will try. Oh, bloody hell, that Turn your radio down, you absolute nubbin. Driving like 100 yards away with a radio that is literally shaking the floorboards here because its pitch is just so low. You know, just come on, people. There we go. Now, oh, thought I clicked that. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. House. It's not quite right, but I think you definitely are on a point there. What I'm going to do, bring the brush strength right the way down. Bring the brush size down, I think. Big mistakes going on there, actually. Don't like any of that. I'm going to leave it as it was. I think that is definitely a lot more interesting. Don't quite buy into how it's joining up here though, so I'm going to do a little bit more work along here. I'll size up a little bit. How's that? How are you thinking, gaming? What are you thinking to that? Would appreciate anybody's actually feedback here. Flying Man, I'm a pilot. Oh, bless you. Served several years in the Israeli Air Force, and I can tell you that the Earth is not flat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're part of the conspiracy, Flying Man. You're part of the conspiracy. I don't know. And the fact that it was the Israeli Air Force, you see, because you know the one of the big arguments that the flat earthers have got is that this is all tied in with the Jews. It's like you're in the Israeli Air Force. It's all tied in with the Jews. You see, this is what they would tell you. Not me. Not me. Clearly, I've already proven that the Earth is round. First of all, I mean, why? Why would it not? Why would anybody argue? Why is there a world conspiracy? It's all about control, they say. Oh, Jesus. Give us a freaking break. They can't control their own governments, their own political parties. They can't even look to control the populace. They just can't. The only way you can control the populace is with guns, right? You point a gun at me, I'm doing what you tell me to do, right? You can incentivize me to do something by lowering taxes or giving me a reward, but you can't make me do what you want me to do. Or if you make me do it with a gun, I could still believe that I'm right. But I'm only doing it because I'm at gunpoint. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. There we go. And there we go. Natural extension. I agree. The thing was, I kind of, as I was cleaning it up, I think you and I probably have the same eye here, right? As I was cleaning it up, there was a point where I'm looking at it going, yeah, no, I don't want this flat. I don't want this flat. So this now definitely feels it's part of this. It's no longer a standalone. Some of these plateaus are still feel like isolated in the way that they are done. So they'll need a bit of erosion to bring them in together. But like over here, this one, we just got a little bit of a transitional area here, just a little bit to bring them together. And if anything, it'll make it slightly easier for a city builder to work a road up rather than having a slope too steep, because you know that's going to happen. Again, if anybody's wondering what these are about, these are just markers for me, telling me that everything upstream of here is done water-wise, and everything downstream from here has still to be done. Or actually, in the case of this, it's been done. I thought I'd remove those. Clearly, I hadn't. I'm losing what I have left of my marbles here. Let me get rid of them. They can go, because everything downstream of that has been done to basically this area here. And then there's going to be, in fact, I think you could argue it's done completely to here. Here's something I'm going to do, though. I'm going to do this now. I need a break from the rivers. I'm going insane with the rivers. How far have I got with the rivers? I've got... That's all done. This one here, we've cleaned that up. Water's dropped off. So what I could do, actually, is grab myself the... We have a couple down here, don't we? Somewhere. There they are. I'm going to grab these two. I should have thought about this a minute ago, where I deleted the other two. But if I say that everything to here is done, it's not very far into the river system, but we're going to drop down here. This section isn't done. Like in the waterfall, just needs to be tidied up a bit. And then is this... Did I do this one? I definitely did this one as well, didn't I? I definitely did that one as well. So what I could also do is... Where were we? Yeah. Let's throw a couple of these here too. Everything upstream from there is done. So we've just got this. this, and this. And down to this section, and all the rivers will be done. I need a break from the rivers because I'm going mad. Well, this needs doing because but I'm not going to do it until I've detailed the waterfalls. The waterfalls across the top I'm mostly happy with. I think so many rivers. There are a few rivers, Salisbury. Every tile has water in it. The waterfall detailing I did a little bit this morning, and I'm okay with how they're looking now. I know it's ridiculous. I know there's water pouring outside of the mountains, and I have used rocks underneath the water to make it bounce rather than just dribble. That's the aesthetics I'm going for. I'm good with it. I think. I think I prefer that to the alternative. Hang on. Let me. Right. That's all taken away. There's your alternative. It's just water not really doing anything at all. The answer would be maybe a volcano spawner. I don't know if I... There we go. Throw everything back in there. The water will start bouncing again. It's dramatic, okay? It's dramatic. So anyway, the waterfalls, as far as I'm concerned, are done. We've got a few fancy ones up here. We just need to do the ones along there using this style. But what I'm going to do is, because I need a break from the river, is I'm going to go under the river. This had lots of rivers lead to lots of bridges like that. Ice Top Mountain. I thought about that was actually one of my original plans, was to go with a snow style theme, like an Alps Dolomites or a albedo, a Canyons, whatever the albedo theme. Anyway, there are a few with. I wasn't happy with any of them. I was not happy. Maybe I'm not very good at doing snow-capped mountains. This I'm good with, right? But what I'm going to do here, right? So the idea here, we've got this natural harbour. We have the tunnel going under the harbour to allow ships to come in and out. Fine. We have the river, which has a big old bridge, which is, I think, high enough. I've not checked it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be high enough for vanilla shipping to go through the middle. With this area up here for potential shipping routes to terminate. But this is the wider version. This is the wider side. And what have I put in the middle of it? A bridge that is too low for vanilla shipping. And this is the wider one. So I am going to go for a tunnel. I'm actually going to replace this with basically that. I'm going to probably do a different style of tunnel entrance, so there's going to be a very deep tunnel. Yeah, a little bit, probably. Let's do one off to one side, see how it feels, and then maybe well, we'll work it out, right? We'll work it out. So we want this road piece, but we don't want that road piece because it's clearly the wrong road piece. We want it, what am I doing here? Ground level. We go to here. I'm going to do some, hang on. That can go like so. This then will definitely go off at a 90-degree angle. Yeah. This one here can come across to here. Cannot build on water. Well, duh. What have I done? Oh, pause the simulation before you do any building, you absolute imbecile, BonBon. I'm an imbecile. All right. I'm an imbecile. Let's get the simulation cleared, and I'll check the chat. Game speed up. Right. Will that slope grade be okay coming from the exit if you tunnel it? Now, I did look at this. This possibly will be about as tight as we can go. But if we go directly into tunnel here, so instead of actually, so basically from here going directly into a tunnel, it's possible, I think, that we might be able to emerge over here and then leave the city builder to work out how to build back out. We'll see. I'm going to say the worst case scenario is this doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, then, right, we can stop simulation, go down now. Down to camera speed. Pause the simulation. That's what I wanted to do previously. This, that, and do you know what? I will go elevated because that's what I forgot to do a moment ago. We come to here. Distance too short, clearly. Ground level. Pop that up that way. Pop this down this way. So we are absolutely sure we are perpendicular with the river. Right, now I'm going to pop those out. And how much slope grade are we going to need? I think we could probably get away with it. Let's extend it just a little bit. I've already done that. Oh, come on. What am I doing? Oh. We'll try this again. We won. There we go. I have no idea what I did wrong there, but I did something wrong. Well, if I go to about here, how long is that exactly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 6. 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, I'll pop a little thingy here. So we're definitely getting the correct. And I'll put a little thingy here. So we're definitely getting the correct. Right, so let's come on, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. All of you, we'll drop you to about there. And then you to you. Slope. You to you. Slope. Alright, okay. Working so far. Back to the roads. Now to the tunnel. That's the road I'm after. Cannot upgrade to this. Why can I upgrade to that type? Excuse me? That is not very helpful. Alright, let's elevate it to ground level, shall we? Not elevate it, upgrade it to ground level. See if that be the problem. Cannot upgrade to this type. What? Now, it might be, yeah, cannot Cannot build on water, cannot upgrade to this type. I get that. That is fully understandable, right? But here, why can't I upgrade to tunnel? Fine. Okay. If you're going to be like that, we'll do it the other way. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, which is to grab this. Yeah, try turning on anarchy. I wish I'd thought of that a minute ago. Obviously, I'm... Alright, okay, let's go to tunnel to here. Okay, where's my page down not working? Okay, I'm going to have to restart the game. We had this... Anybody who's watching a couple of days ago... I'll retry with the anarchy in a moment. But anybody who's watching a few days ago, when I was trying to do some edits to this tunnel, I was getting exactly the same problem as I'm getting here. Exactly the same issues. I don't know if Anarchy's going to fix this, because I think we tried this with Anarchy. Well, I'm going to try it. Okay, I'm going to try it. I trust you. You guys, you've got far more game muscle memory than I have, right? Far more game muscle memory. I am not going to pretend otherwise. So, again, we're going to drop that down to below the river level. And again, we will do the slope. What happened there? What happened there? Oh, I'm going to try that again. Right? Slope. Seriously? Seriously? Yeah, no worries, Flying Man. No worries at all. I am getting cross here. You select the tile, the nodes. I'm selecting the nodes this time individually, right? Slope the objects. Now it has. I don't know. I just don't know sometimes. Manually selecting the nodes now. Well, we are elevated, but only because I couldn't build the roads at ground level because of the water. But I know we've got Anarchy to worry about that in a moment. Now, I'm going to now try... Come out of this. Oh, out of this, thank you. Back into the roads. We are now going to... Anarchy is on. Thank you. Yeah. I've got the wrong road selected, though. I have got the wrong road selected. Right, so we're going to try that again. What is going on with that section there? How? Oh, I see. I see what you're doing. Oh, you are kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me, aren't you? Pardon my language. Everybody turn away now, okay? Fuck it. Right, you can come back. I'm gonna do this a third time. I'm gonna do this a third time. Why can't I even bulldoze this now? What is going wrong with my head? Gotcha. Now it'll let me do it. Okay, I'm going to do this a third time. Shut up, Snoozeby. If I want your opinion, I'll ask for it, alright? Oh, God help me. Right, so, actually, God don't help me. Right. I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. Anarchy switched on this time, maybe? We'll see if it'll let me do it. Now, anarchy switched off. Now, anarchy switched on. The anarchy switched off. Oh, why are we going underground? Bloody stupid bloody thing. Right. Staying calm. I'm supposed to be staying calm. This is supposed to be a chill out. Oh, hang on. Anarchy switched on again. Anarchy switched off. I've just about enough today. Space already. Excuse me. Fine. Right. Oh, and it's gone very kindly to ground level as well. That's good news. This is all good news. Everybody stay calm. Be calm and organised. Everything's going to be fine. Uncle Bonbon's got you. Uncle Bonbon hasn't got a bloody clue what's going on though, but he's got you. Alright, that's now officially, in case you're wondering, I have broken through the world itself. Gone to the underside of the flat earth there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Now, slope. Is that too steep? It is still too steep, isn't it? This was what we were worried about, or what somebody was worried about. Or is it? No, 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 no. It's going to be fine. It is. I'll come this far. I refuse to be beaten. Okay. I am not going to be beaten. Slope. It's going to be fine. Trust me. I'm a bonbon. It's fine. Okay. Back to this. Going to tunnel mode. We need this road here. We need that road to go into tunnel mode. We're going into anarchy. That is, I think, that's not too steep, is it? Once we lower this node down a bit and maybe have one tile to come in, I think that will work. I think that will work. Beat by the flat earth. Toggle, you know, snapping. Yes, I did. Thank you. Anything I miss? Anything? The game doing that, not allowing you to do certain things. Yes, it's really frustrating when, and then it's more frustrating once you realise that actually the reason it wouldn't let you do it is because you are the moron. Right? Are we all agreed on that? I think so. Right. That and that and that can go. This can go. Then this beautiful bridge can go. And that can go. Now. How now? Hmm. 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 Got ya. I got ya. I finally got ya. No. I don't want to do any more of that. Excuse me. I am trying to... Maybe I need to take one that's above ground level. Like this. Yes. 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 Ho 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 ho. Yes. So if we go about here, something about there. Now that's coming out somewhere not perfect, but not far. And then something like that, and something like that. Okay, plenty of room to build around that, and all we need to do now is grab that, what am I looking for here? This, that, and that, and this, and ooh, a bit too much. This, in fact, okay, I think if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slope, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slope. Right. I'm fairly happy. Bum ba da ba ba da. Ba ba da ba dee dee. That heads you into the meat of the start square. There is an argument that we should have access to this section here, isn't there? Also, look at the... Is that just my imagination, or does that look absolutely awful? The earth is flat. Oh dear. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. I am very tempted, very, very close at this point to calling it, because I've got, as I said earlier, I have got a lot of video editing to be doing. Let me move this down. And then we can do that to there. Slope. There we go. So I don't hate this. Again, we'll do some kind of fanciful tunnel entrance. Not quite as big and as bold as dramatic as this, because this is obviously a highway one. This is going to be a city centre one, so it will be less bold and fanciful, but it will still be some kind of tunnel entrance going on there. And I would ideally like this area immediately accessible, but there is plenty of buildable space here to get started. Second tile here or over here are exceptional, and if you choose this one, you get immediate access through the highway here. This is only awkward because you've got to build a bridge over this way. I'm looking at this entire intersection now going, I kind of want to move it like 30 yards this way. I'm not going to do it. Or am I? Am I? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? I am actually tempted. I have an idea. I have a little idea. Not sure it's going to work. In fact, before I do a lot of work on this and don't like it, save map, final one, save 19, not save 1919, save 19, click save. Let this do its thing. Packaging. Right, done. So let me try something here. Probably an error going on here, but that's why I just saved it, okay? Okay. That's kind of did want to be 2-lane, didn't it, after all that? I have got a bit of 2-lane somewhere, haven't I? Maybe this one. Select it. But we're going ground level. Let's downgrade those again. There we are. So let's see if this is going to work in any way, shape or form here. Don't think that will like that. Oh, completely. Why am I underground? Why have I now disconnected this? It's going to be fine. Everybody stop panicking. But something like this would be a thing. Would be a thing. Problem is, it has to connect so that. So I'm looking at this going, I could just connect it to this, couldn't I? But it needs to have access to both of these. So a roundabout there would be perfect, wouldn't it, right now? Oh, is this 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 for BonBonB. Yay! Hi. If I were to move the entire intersection, I don't really want to. I like where it is. I like where it is. I don't think there's any structure that I can put in here that is gonna look slick. That we can hide this with keys. Hello, keys. I'm looking for keys right now. Or quays, as some idiots insist on calling them. Right, cool. Why have I got 2? What happened here? Do you know what you will do? You will absolutely do. Bring you over here. Rotate you. And we're going to have you quite tight to this. Because city centre, right? Somewhere there. I'm going to do that for now. Grab this one as well. Or use this one twice even. Down to about there. And again, choose that. We'll do something along those lines. Probably don't want it going off so far. Maybe just about there. And then you, can you come back this way? Oops. Try that again. And you can come off down to about here. And then finally, come here, you. Not sure which way around this wants to go, so we'll just put it in one way and see what happens. If it's backwards, right? Bit limited by what I can do while I'm at work. My laptop doesn't actually have a page up or page down button, which is quite funny, really. There we go. How's that looking? With a little bit of foliage work around there as well, I think that'll be okay. Don't like these drifting out as much as they have. In fact, almost. Do we even need? There we go. That's better, isn't it? I think. So one key lined tunnel there taking us across into the middle of the map, and I'm going to call it because honestly I have got plenty of work to do tonight. This was just for me to chill out. It's supposed to be an hour and I've been here nearly 2. Sorry Harry then. Crossings on the highway in the angles. Terrible BonBonB. I will crossings on the highway. Yes, I know, because mass transit I'm not using here, so 2-lane roads, and people can upgrade them to whatever roads they want to use. It's going to be the way that it is. It's just tough. All right, if I want to have 2-lane roads and 100% vanilla, this is what I'm going to have. And then if people have got mass transit, they can upgrade them, and if people have got the workshop, they can use the workshop, and if they've got whatever, then they've got what, and if they haven't, then they've got 2-lane roads, which they can either upgrade to 3 lanes or whatever. You know, it's your city once you take the map. But I want 2-lane roads for lane mathematics, and that's just the way it is. Anyway, I've got to go because if nothing else, I actually need to go to the toilet. So, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. You guys are very, very best. I don't have an outro. I have to go. You broke my heart. Short stream. 2 hours, mate. 2 hours. And Cities Skylines 2 o'clock needs editing. So I'm going to go do that. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome. I need to go because there's going to be a mess here in a minute. And I'll read your comment in a minute. Cheers, Harry. I've got to go. Bye.